because we have a much smaller space to work with.
So then, it's not really the same, is
Did you know the museum here is full of old Earth artifacts? Cool, huh?
We're out of chunk special sauce. But trust me, the food's still great without it. Hello there. Welcome to the new Homestead Chunks. We've got all your Chunks' favorites. Well, almost all of them. Sadly, we're out of the special sauce. I know. But everything else is still that great Chunks food you know and love. So, what can I do for you? If I'm completely honest, it is. The people are always saying how this Chunks can't compare to the real deal. And I just know it's because we never had that mouth-watering sauce. I've been in contact with some of the other restaurants out there, and they'll give me some, but they say they can't afford to send it, and I don't have a ship, so what am I to do? You bet it is. You may not hear people talk about it, but trust me, it's the secret ingredient. It's like the glue that holds it all together. I mean, not literally. I'm not saying it's glue or that our food falls apart. It's delightful. Tangy, savory, it's a little sweet, but not too sweet. And I've noticed that once people find out we don't have it, sometimes they don't return. It's the reason business isn't as good as other chunks. For real. Good question. They haven't said, but I think it has something to do with them prioritizing other chunks over mine. I guess it's made at a different facility than our other food, and they don't even want to pay the shipping cost to ship from another store to ours. Yeah, sometimes I get lucky and a cargo hauler passes through with a route that takes them near other chunks and back again, but there's no guarantee. Wait, for real? You do that? You're not pulling my leg? Oh, yeah, right. I actually just got a message back from another Chunks before you got here, and they got a case ready to go for me. Just tell them you're there to pick it up for me, and it should be good to go. Thanks.
Welcome to Chunks. Please choose your chunks.
Did you see those wind turbines on there?
What did we think of the tour?
Very
There
informative.
are times
I didn't know about the methane
envy
harvester
those who are
before
able
coming
to
here.
travel like you.
The, Brown Horse Tavern, was it, huh? The food was better than I expected. From a backwoods planet like this. It has a quaint charm, doesn't it?
Just like the rest of New Homestead.
Well, I
Sure
hope you'll
would be
come
nice
back
to
and
get
see
a
us
tour.
again sometime. And I hope you'll consider another...
Hello there. Are you here to peruse our little museum exhibit?
Excuse me, Bill. You've got to do a better job of keeping your tour groups out of trouble.
What do you mean?
That little boy almost wound up on my operating table. Claudio said he was
Wonderful.
down by the mines and nearly got his
These
arm
are
cut.
all rare
Favorite dog.
artifacts from before the collapse of Earth. There isn't much of this stuff left outside of private collections, but
Damn right.
here
You
we're
gotta do
happy to share a glimpse of them with the public. If you have any questions about the exhibit or New Homestead, I'm happy to answer as best as I can. Of course. Certainly. We have several items in our collection that we rotate in and out over time, but they all originate from the same place, Earth. We have everything from toys to antique technology to sports memorabilia. We even used to have an old Earth vehicle, but we had to sell it when we ran out of space for it. Most of our collection was donated by fellow Earth enthusiasts and historians who felt it belonged close to the homeland here in the Sol system. I am Maurice Leon, and I am the community elder. As the oldest living citizen at 96, my only job is to keep Earth history alive. I tell stories to the young people and the visitors from other worlds. Although my memory isn't what it used to be, I try my best to get the stories right. When our early colonists learned of Earth's demise, they decided to take on the names of their cities of origin as a way to remember their heritage. Now, some may have been lost in translation over the years, and some may have taken it more seriously than others, but the names are mostly accurate. For instance, my family comes from the city of Lyon, in a country that was called France. Sure, I'd love to. There was once a war so big that they say all of the world was involved. This was actually the second time it happened. They fought because a terrible man named Hitler rose to power and slaughtered many innocents. Millions were lost. Even the colony war pales in comparison. Why, certainly. It's what I do. There was a time when huge monstrosities called dinosaurs ruled over Earth, long before humans existed. They were similar to some of the larger life forms you might see elsewhere in the settled systems. Their reign ended when I can never remember if it was a comet, an asteroid, or a meteor that hit the Earth. Whatever it was, it nearly wiped out most of the life at that time. Let me think of a good one. A long time ago, thousands of years, humans built a wall so large it spanned the northern length of one of Earth's largest empires, China. They called it the Great Wall of China, and it was meant to keep out invading hordes. If I recall correctly, it didn't always work as well as they had hoped. I'll have to look it up again. Memory's not what it once was. It's an interesting story. New Homestead began as a scientific research base called the Titan Astrobase, back when space travel was in its infancy. The hope was that humanity would be able to discover simple alien life here given the moon's composition and water supply. When that ultimately failed, it was repurposed as a colony research base where scientists and engineers studied how to build colonies on inhospitable worlds. Then, finally, when gravity drives were commonplace and we started finding Earth-like planets, New Homestead was born as a living history community to preserve that past. Thanks for visiting.
Why, hello there! I'm Bill Starsap of Starsap Tours. Let me tell you, this place is full of history and interesting facts. For instance, did you know that New Homestead was one of the first colonies established outside of Earth? It's been populated in some capacity for over 200 years. Yes, sirree, and that's not science fiction, it's science fact. There's a lot more history where that came from. So what do you say? I've got an opening. I could take you on a tour right now if you'd like. None taken, I get it all the time. If you think it sounds made up, well, that's because it is. I come from an eccentric family. Back in the early days of space travel, generations ago, my ancestors were really into science fiction. They wanted a name that seemed like it fit into the stories they grew up with, so they changed their last name, and the Starsap family name was born. Used to be Bramblefoot before that. Their ancestors liked a different type of fiction. Have a good one.
Word of advice, steer clear of the doctor here. She really seems to have a problem with tourists for some reason.
Enjoy your visit here.
Off-worlders always ask how I can live here. I wonder how they can live anywhere else.
course while we scan for contraband. That's all we need. Enjoy, Neon.
Picked up the Aurora you're carrying the second you stepped through.
She's too good for me. Sounds like she's trying to help someone or something. Honestly, I kind of tuned her out.
Welcome to Chunks, home of the best chunks in the settled systems. Huh. I thought that was a joke at first, but yep, here you are. Let me get that for you. It's amazing how popular this stuff is on Titan. You'd think they just drank it over there.
rather be doing this than getting mixed up with my
So, why did you drag me in here?
You said you wanted to buy something nice for your girlfriend, so here we are.
Do you think I've suddenly inherited a fortune? This place is way out of
Yeah.
my price range.
Hey, you're the one
All
that
of our
told me
items
she
are
has
guaranteed
expensive
to be of the
tastes.
highest quality.
It's expensive.
Are you sure you're in the right place? You certainly don't look like one of our usual clientele.
Yeah, yes. Take a look around. If you find something, I'll help you out, okay?
Yes, you're right. Of course. Of course. My apologies. Please forgive my disrespect. We have quite a few, shall we say, thugs that find their way into my establishment and create a disturbance. In fact, there's a particular Seoka member who calls himself Headlock, who repeatedly torments me by damaging my goods. The Seoka Syndicate, of course. I'm surprised you haven't run into any of them. They're a group of organized criminals who use threats and violence to push their own agenda. And honest people like me tend to suffer the consequences. They're based out of Neon, but no one is certain who runs the syndicate. Could be anyone. You mean kill him? Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't know how. I've never been terribly good at that sort of thing. Anyway, I've already taken up too much of your valuable time. Was there anything else I could help you with? Oh, I carry all sorts of unique items from across the settled systems. Luxury products for the discerning buyer. I'm not one to boast, but my shop won me my position as Administrator Bayou's personal decorator. His penthouse is my pièce de résistance. Before I forget, I also pay top credits to travelers that bring me unique baubles and trinkets, so keep your eyes open as you explore the spaceways. Oh my goodness, that's such a relief. You have no idea. Thank you for accepting my offer. Headlock's quite a dangerous gentleman. I believe you can find him hanging out somewhere in Epside near Frankie's Grab and Go. You say that, but Seoka aren't exactly pushovers when it comes to this sort of thing, so you better watch your ass. Anyway, that's really all I know. Head back here when you've taken care of the situation. Good luck. Cash only, please. I'm sure... I believe he's a newer member of Seoka. They pulled him up out of one of the street gangs that crawl through our sewers. If you're wondering how I know about that, he boasts about it every time he comes in here. He's quite a large gentleman. I believe you can find him roaming the street somewhere in Epside near Frankie's Grab and Go. Look, if he somehow disappeared, you'd be doing everyone in Neon a favor. No one would miss him, no one would care. It was good to have you in my shop. Farewell.